All right, that is cool. You can turn and face the front.
And you're going to do it like a green shot in basketball. Yep. On the count of 3. And give it a nice push, a nice toss.
Okay.
Oh, it's ready to go.
1, 2, 3. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Great flies.
Just like that. Nice.
Oh, yeah. All right, now let's have a Merlin bouquet right in front here, right on the orange in your shirt. It looks great against the orange. Move it over just a little bit.
Okay, you ready, babe? He's going to count, Johnny.
Yep, I'll give you the tape. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
He's coming back. He wants more of that finger.
Would you like a Merlin?
Got it? Sort of like holding an ice cream cone, isn't it? Yeah. I know. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Tight? Okay. Not too tight.
Oh, cute. Very cute.
Okay. Now we're gonna have you hold it up in the air, and we're gonna count to 3, and you can push it up in the air when I say 3. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Big push. There you go.
And so actually, and we have, this is kind of cool because she's kind of a smallish female and she's kind of a bulky female. This one's a year old and her size probably is working to her advantage in her survival. About 80% of young birds die in their first year. And the ones that we get that are adults are usually just they can be really, really feisty. They can be really aggressive. They're usually kind of big. And so those are all things that make it easier for them to survive that first year. It's hard being a bird in the first year. They don't carry fat on their bodies like we do, so they can't go 3, 4, 5 days without eating. I just get ornery if I go a few days without eating, and I try to make sure that never happens. But they will become too weak to hunt quickly. And so, you know, if they miss on, you know, several hunts in a row, they're kind of in a downward spiral that needs to correct itself pretty quickly, because once they become weak and can't hunt, then they just kind of get behind the avalanche of bad events that can happen. So we know that these are sharp-shinned hawks by their size and shape. So they're relatively small hawks. They're members of the accipiter family. So they have short, round wings, long, skinny tails. Accipiters tend to eat birds. They tend to be woodland birds, so they are chasing their prey through a lot of vegetation. And so these short, round wings give them speed. They can flap these wings really fast. The long, skinny tail gives them great maneuverability because they need to be dodging and weaving and following their prey through the gaps in the bushes and the trees. So the difference in ages, we have yellow eyes on the youngsters and orange eyes on this 1-year-old. And next year her eye will become a darker orange, and it'll just keep getting darker until it's a real dark cranberry red. On the youngsters we have vertical brown streaks, and on the adult we have more of a rusty color, more horizontally barred streaking. And then on their backs we have brown feathers with rust colored tips on them on the youngsters, and she's got nice smooth slate gray feathers. The 3 different accipiters that we see here at Hawk Ridge are sharp-shinned hawks, Cooper's hawks, and northern goshawks. And that would be in the small, medium, and large categories. So Cooper's hawks are bigger than sharp-shinned hawks, and northern goshawks are big, like a red-tailed. They can be kind of hard to tell apart, especially between the female sharp-shinned hawks and the male Cooper's hawks. They can be real close in size to each other. They can be kind of hard to see. Sharp-shinned hawks tend to look like they have a smaller, more delicate head. They were just getting up and going hunting, and what they did was find themselves in a net. We use lures that look like injured birds, and so as they're traveling through the woods, they see these lures, they come down to go for the lure, and then they get caught in the net. The banders get them out of the net, put a band on their leg, and write the band number down first thing, because if this bird goes bloop bloop and is out of my hands, at least they have the band number and the species down. It does it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, yeah.
I was just pointing out that this one right here has a broken talon in the back, so it looks just like a little stump there. Just kind of interesting to see.
That's fascinating. The most interesting things come into our banding station. We've had birds that are blind in one eye come in. We've had birds, big, heavy, healthy, red-tailed hawks who only have one foot that works, you know, and so that's great indication of how tough they are and how they can survive when they're not 100%. So the fact that she's a year old and has this talon that's broken off, that's a testament to her survivability. I mean, I won't use the word dumb, but you know, they're not as, they're just not as experienced. So this is a broad-winged hawk. This is going to be hopefully the bird of the weekend. We try to plan our festival around the migration of broad-winged hawks. They don't know that though, so maybe the big day was Sunday when we had 15,000 of them fly past. I'm an optimist though, so I am believing that this weekend is going to be our big day for broad-wings. So broad-winged hawks are small bootios. They are members of the bootiо family. They are cousins, so to speak, to the red-tailed hawk and the rough-legged hawk and the red-shouldered hawk and the Swainson's hawk. Those are all members of the bootio family. They're kind of defined by long, wide wings. Sky, it might be hard to see them, but we will probably see lots of these today. What we look for in broad-winged hawks is this dark trailing edge of their wing.
They have a black and white banded tail, is that what you just said?
Yes, the adults do. It's much more obvious than this, or much more distinctive than this. So really, I mean, if you look at this bird, they're not that big. They look really big in the air. Can you open your wings for us, please? It would help if you spoke English. But they are just designed for soaring. Bootios typically will kind of ride the wind. They hunt by sight and they kind of pounce on their prey. Broad-winged hawks are very, I don't want to say specialized, but their primary diet is reptiles and amphibians. So you'll often see them on power lines over swampy ditches because they're looking for frogs and snakes. Broad-winged hawks have the shortest migration window of the birds that we see here. It's why we can kind of plan our festival weekend for the peak of broad-wing migration, because we always can be relatively certain that we're going to have a large number of them coming through in a fairly short amount of time. Height when they get these wings open, and there's another view of the tail from below. She's not going to flap at all. Here, can you show us? Put your wings up. You see her balance with her tail there? Sometimes they'll get their wings up for a real nice picture, but she's not going to sit like that for us. As long as they're contained and on the surface of the bird. This one also has really big feet. There you go. There you go. There you go. There. So you can see the size of her talons. That's some serious hunting there. And when she's like this, you can also see that she has kind of knobbies on the bottoms, on the pads of her feet. That helps her grab her prey and hang on to it. And you also can see that she has kind of like scales on her legs. These are called scutes. They're made out of material very similar to fingernails. The stuff that she catches to eat doesn't just lay down and let her eat it. It fights back and it bites, and I can see on her other foot she's got some scars. Here I can see she's got an open scar here, a fairly fresh one there. Rabbits, squirrels, skunks, they'll fight back and they've got sharp teeth. It moves freely around and up and down, but it can't get over the knob of the joint of her foot. This is called a locking band. Her beak is strong enough to pull off just a lightweight aluminum band, so it's got a flap, it folds over itself and kind of locks itself on so that she can't remove that band. Once we've gone to the trouble of getting a band on her, we like it to stay on. It's your video. But we get records then of where birds are recaptured. One of the most exciting recaptures of red-tailed hawks that we've had here at Hawk Ridge was a bird that we caught in 2006, and she had been originally banded here in 1977. Wow. What's the math on that? 29 years. So that is a long time for these birds to live in the wild. Broad-winged hawks, red-tailed hawks, rough-legged hawks, also Swainson's hawks, and red-shouldered hawks are members of the Buteo family. Hey. They're often in Africa and Europe, they're referred to, or their common name is buzzards. And so that's, you'll hear people talking about buzzards, and they're referring to a member of the Buteo family. To see, it gives us a really good opportunity to see the hole in her tongue. That's how she breathes, that's where she breathes. And then it also gives us a great chance to see that she has barbs on the back of her tongue that point down her throat. Sometimes if she's eating something that's not quite dead, it might be trying to get back out again, and those barbs can help keep encouraging the food to go down. How tight you're going to want to hold her, okay? Because once she goes into your hands, she's going to feel you thinking about releasing her, and she'll kind of maybe give a little tug. Just hang on to her. You'll have her nice and tight. She can't get away from you. And so we're going to take your photo holding her. You're going to put both your thumbs in the back. So bring this hand, let go with this hand. Okay, so put the bird right here. Put your hands beside your thumbs beside your belly. Perfect, just like that. You got her nice and tight?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So first, Eric's going to take your photo here.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Nice. Yeah.
You don't want to come home.
Okay, so keep holding tight, okay? We'll get the camera ready.
So this is a female.
I think it's a female.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that it is because she's so big.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You really are. Yeah.
Can you feel her power? Can you feel the power in her? Yeah. So I'm just going to have you turn towards the lake and hold her out. You need to give her a big throw up into the air, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Big throw. Wait till Eric says 3, though.
1,
2, 3, go! Because this one's really quite big, a little bigger than is comfortable in my hand. When they're doing this, you can look in their mouth and see the breathing hole in their tongue. And you also can see the barbs made of cartilage on the back of their tongue that kind of stick up and kind of keep food aimed going down in the right direction, because they aren't always eating stuff that's completely dead.
I want to hear everybody count.
Okay, so this is Amy's birthday, so we're all going to help count to release the bird, but we don't start till Eric says go.
Are you ready, Amy?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
1, 2, 3! Look how big it looks in the air.
I mean, he's happy he can fly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Can I come back?
She's coming back. She's mad.
Oh, hello. Show us your belly.
Free at last.
She didn't smell.
Why are you smelling the bird?
Oh, no, it's a joke.